Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us for tonight's edition of HR Mentorship Learning Series. Tonight, our facilitator is Imadi Osage, and she'll be speaking to us on the topic Hacking HR Business Partnering. Hacking HR Business Partnering. I would like to read our profile very quickly so that we can get to know her a little better. Imade is a highly experienced and certified HR professional with over a decade of experience in human resource management, learning and development, capacity building, people strategy, and change management. Currently, she works in the capacity of HR manager at Broad-Based Communications, the largest metro fiber optic telecommunications in Nigeria. She holds an MBA and a BA in international relations. Imade brings a unique blend of business acumen and HR insights to the table, and our innovative and forward-thinking approach to HR is grounded in real-world experience. Ladies and gentlemen, Imade is the HR leader you want on your side, helping organizations navigate the future of work. Speaking to us tonight on the topic hacking HR business partnering, I hand over control to Imade Osage. You have the floor, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for that intro. Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me today. Um, so very quickly, I think I have about an hour, so I'll make judicious use of my time. Thank you for being here. I promise that this is going to be an insightful session. So please, I would like you to lend me your ears and let's just pay attention and grab as much as we can, in the time that we have. All right. So um, today we'll be talking about hacking HR business partnering, optimizing HR strategic positioning for business success. You know, what we're trying to cover today is, how do we position ourselves, as business enablers, being in the HR space, there's a lot going on, but in as much as there's a lot going on, it's important that we cut through all the noise and help the business to achieve success and achieve the goals that they have. So very quickly, who is an HR business partner? According to McKinsey, an HR business partner is defined as a professional who works closely with senior leadership to develop and implement HR strategies that align with the organization's goal. They play a critical role in driving change, fostering talent development, and ensuring that HR initiatives support overall business performance. This involves analyzing workforce trends, advising on organizational design, and enhancing employee engagement to create a competitive advantage. Now, basically, right, the idea of the HR business partner was to support strategic business units within the organization. That was the original idea, right? So now, the HR business partner is on ground. What the ultimate goal is tailoring the HR strategy to support the organization's goal. Is it whether it's their annual goal? I mean, every organization's goal is to make profit, right? So part of your work, part of our jobs as HR business partners is to be revenue enablers, to help the company, to get to achieve that goal, that ultimate goal of being profitable. And how can you properly support a business if you really don't know the business? So the first thing as an HR business partner is to understand the business. That's the first place to start. That's the most basic thing you need to do. You need to be able to understand the business at a basic level, understand the business operations, how it works, the business model, how it works ultimately to generate their revenue. That way you can weave your strategy right along those lines, and help the company to drive change, foster talent development, and ensure that all the HR initiatives support the business, support the profitability of that business. So, what is the HR business partnership? What does the HR business partnership entail? So, when you see this, right, it tells you there's the HR and there's the business, right? These are two elements. Now, they have to come together, they have to intersect. There has to be a partnership between these two elements. Yeah. Um, what does the HR business partnership entail? HR business partnership involves a collaborative relationship between HR professionals and business leaders to align human resources strategies with organizational goals. Now, as HR business partner, as an HR business partner, you are a strategist from the get-go. As an HR business partner, you are a strategist, So part of the HR business partnership, it encompasses strategic alignment, talent management, change management, and data-driven insights. Very important. Data-driven insights, not making decisions based on guess. Your data has to be on point. Your data analysis abilities have to be on point. While promoting employee engagement and providing coaching to leaders as well. Additionally, HR business partners ensure compliance with legal regulations and mitigate workforce related risk, ultimately serving as a strategic ally to drive organizational success. So basically, what this is telling you is that we are strategists as HR business partners. So HR business partners need to be able to, think strategically, think methodically, and be able to gain insights from the data that we gather. All this data that we have, all the appraisals we are doing, all the surveys we are doing is data, right? So we're not just gathering data for gathering's sake. We're using that data, we're interpreting that data and using it, to craft strategies that help the business achieve its goals. Understanding HR business partnering. HR business partners serve as strategic allies in business decision making by aligning HR initiatives with organizational goals. They ensure that talent management, workforce planning, and employee engagement strategies directly support the company's objective. Everything we do is for the company. Every step you take, every intricate step you take has to directly align with the overall goals of the company. By actively collaborating with business leaders, HRBPs gain insight into operational challenges and opportunities, enabling them to provide data driven recommendations that enhance performance and drive successes. Now, I just want to give a small example. For example, recently, right, we were having a conversation, right, at the management level, and part of what we observed was that, oh, we needed to expand, you know, we needed to expand our revenue bucket, right? And part of um, the one of the ways to achieve that, right, was to leverage on our current customers, right? We noticed that we were not getting as much out of our current customers. Part of, after analyzing the data, we noticed that we were always getting, we're all about new business, right? So in the discussion, while we were interpreting all the data we had in front of us, we came to a conclusion that, okay, instead of just focusing on new business, why not upsell our current customers, right? So now we have a line of action, we have a direction, right? It's now part of my role as the HR where came in, was to suggest that, okay, we need to add this average revenue per client, right, as part of the KPIs, as part of the KPIs of the sales team, right? Now, if we do this and we push out trainings and we push out um um initiatives to encourage them to sell and upsell, right? At the end of it, what ultimately happens is that by taking that little initiative and weaving it into my HR strategy, weaving it into my performance management model, right? I've been able to help the company to achieve what their goal, right? Which is to increase our revenue streams, right? Now, when this is implemented, it will give us new fresh line of revenue from existing customers, right? I mean, that was brilliant for me. That was very brilliant for me because at the end of the day, we're all working as a team, right? But being able to align um HR HR activities, HR initiatives with the overall goal. At the end of the day, we're doing big things, right? And by the time you check the projection, you are seeing that HR is now indeed seen as a revenue enabler and not just a bench warmer, in the boardroom, right? So I just want to be sure I'm not talking to myself. So can I get some feedback? Can I get some feedback, please? If you can hear me, say hi.
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 Okay,
Hi.
thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you
Hi.
so much. Nata. Thank you so much, guys. All right. So um I'll continue. The integration fosters a culture of collaboration and agility, positioning HR as a vital contributor to overall business strategy, right? HR core functions include one, aligning HR strategy. That's tailoring HR practices to support overall business objectives. That's what I just talked about. I just gave an example of that. Talent management, also number two, creating pathways for employee growth and skill enhancement, right? And also we have driving change. Driving change is where trans we drive transformation. We drive transformation. It's part of what we do. It's part of what it's part of, how will I put it now? The core of the HR role. We drive change, we align strategies, and we manage talent. So these are the three core functions of the HR business partner, that the HR business partner can use, as instruments to help the company achieve their goals. Why must the HR business partner? Why must the HR partner with the business? HR business partnership must happen to ensure that human resources effectively contribute to achieving organizational goals and enhance performance. Now, by aligning HR strategies with business objectives, companies can better attract, develop, and retain and manage change effectively and foster a positive workplace culture. This collaboration enables data driven decision making, it improves employee engagement, and ensures compliance, ultimately creating a competitive advantage in the market. Now, um, what what this basically tells us is why you know the HR must partner with the business. Now, we can let's explore this a little bit further, right? Because if HR operates in a silo, right, it's ultimately a waste. Why? Because HR has so much potential. HR has so much potential, right? We're not just, doing the daily routines. We've gone past that. HR has evolved. HR has evolved to now becoming an actual business partner, being able to, play actively, in the management space, right? So we're no longer doing the regular, we're going above and beyond, and we're coming up with strategies that can help the business, improve sustainability in the marketplace. Now, technology has come to stay. I would just say, let me put that out there. Technology has come to stay, and the HR business relationship is key to the HR tech relationship, sorry, is key to achieving HR business partnership, right? There's so many HR needs to take advantage of tech because a lot of people have the opinion that, um tech is coming to replace a lot of people. I was talking with someone the other day, and they were saying, "Oh, there's this software that is coming out that is going to totally erase the executive assistant and personal assistant roles or company else secretaries roles." the AI automatically generates, for example, the AI can automatically generate minutes of meeting. It can attend meetings, board meetings, and actually assign tasks to all the members based on the things that were said during that meeting. So tech has gone wild. But HR's ability to take advantage of tech is what will make us stay relevant in this space. Now, if you're the type of person who can ride the waves, the tech wave, because trust me, it's a tech wave. If you can ride the tech waves, right, and master it, right, you become an asset in the industry. And trust me, tech cannot take your job. Tech becomes a tool for HR to use to achieve, in achieving its objectives and overall goals. So it says here to enhance his role as a strategic business partner, HR must leverage technology, very important, to align initiatives with organizational goals, utilizing data. Yeah. And one advantage that tech gives us is that because tech is garbage in, garbage out, right? The data is there, right? Because the way tech works, data has to interact for it to give you the result, right, that you want. So there's a lot of data in there that we can take advantage of, right? And possibly if you can take data analysis beginner courses, it will give you insight because personally I work with a lot of data, right? Like I did some work recently and I had to do some backward simulation with current data, to analyze, just to be able to track history. So all these things, data is amazing. Data is just amazing. Like the opportunities with data, they are just mind blowing, right? And one thing about data is that you may think that data might be saying something from the surface, right? But the moment you drill down and you start analyzing, you realize something beautiful happens. It's almost like once you zoom in on the data, you begin to see clearly. Once you analyze the data and you zoom in closer, you see that something you may just see that, oh, what you thought was happening on the surface is not what's really happening. It's something different that is really going on, right? So yeah, I think that's that for that. Now, what are the current challenges in the HRBP role? First is change resistance. We know that one. That's common. Everybody's resisting HR. Oh, HR is a bad person. HR is this. HR is that. We've heard it all. Data deficiency. There's not enough data to work with. There's not enough data to work with. Or there's data, but we don't know what to do with it. Right. Then there's also the challenge of siloed function. HR, operates on their own a lot of the time. HR is fenced off from all the other departments most times, right? So another challenge is HR is seen as a cost center, so it's difficult to get things out there before you even say. Part of one of the challenges I faced, right, as an HRBP is, oh, before you even say anything, they'll tell you that HR is a cost center, not knowing because technically, right? Technically, every department that is not generating revenue directly is a cost center. So if next time anybody tells you HR is a cost center, tell them that even finance, they are themselves, they're only counting the money. They're not generating fresh revenue. So yeah, they are cost center as well. The only department in the organization that can boast that they are revenue centers is probably the sales team, you know. So yeah, those are the current challenges. Now, how do we solve those challenges and create a shift? Now, key principles, stay with me, right? We'll answer that question very shortly. But first of all, we need to address the key principles of effective HR business partnering. Now, number one is alignment with business strategy at all times. At all times, HR initiatives and HR activities must align with business strategies, right? It's almost like you need to keep the business objective and the business strategy in front of you to guide every decision making, to guide allocation of resources, to guide everything that you do. Number two, Proactive talent management. You have to be proactive about managing your talent. You have to be proactive about succession planning, managing key man risk. Just you have to be proactive about these things. You don't have to wait for things to happen. You have to see them coming, and fix them before they do happen, or put plans in place to mitigate issues that may arise. Number three is data driven decision making. I cannot overstress this enough. Every decision that is made has to be data driven. It has to stem from there. The data has to support, because im- sorry, I may be a bit fast. Let me just slow down. Data driven decision making is so key. Is so key. The data has to support the decision. Wherever, for every decision you are making, you need to check your data. Does the data support it? If not, you need to pause. The data has to support the decision. In fact, in my organization at some point, I had to promote a data drive, right? What was it about? No decision gets made without data. You have to support that decision with data. You don't make emotional decisions. You don't make, decisions just off the top of your head, and just because you feel, gut feeling. Gut feeling has its place, but a lot of times in business, data is very important. So as HRs, we need to be able to, tie decisions to data. And last but not least, number four is agility and flexibility. As HR business partners, we need to be flexible and agile with our approach, right? You need to be able to, make adjustments as you go, fail fast, and change as often as possible, evolve with the times, and be an agile, have an agile response to things, and be an agile HR business person. The role of technology in HR business partnering. We have HR analytics tools, we have collaborative platforms, Slack and the likes. We have AI and data analysis, and at some point, I foresee predictive AI, you know, taking off as well. Then we have learning management systems. These are all, technology tools that we can use as HR business partners to, make our HR business partnering more efficient, right? Leveraging HR analytics. Okay, like I said, predictive analytics, performance metrics, and engagement. So, these are just different elements that we need to leverage on as HR business partners. Enhancing communication and collaboration. Sorry, I need to check how much time I have left. Okay, yeah, enhancing communication and collaboration. This involves usage of digital collaboration tools, feedback loops, and I personally recommend an open door policy, because part of our jobs, right, is being able to keep our hands on the pulse, keep our hands on the pulse of what's really going on in the organization, right? Because I feel like HR is where everything converges. So it keeps us in a very key position to effect change and transformation. So if we keep an open door policy, it makes it easy. It makes stakeholder management very easy. It makes information flow very easy as well. It makes it also, you see, this open door policy, it can give you access to better feedback loops. I mean, actual, because sometimes the traditional feedback channels might not give you the true representation of what's going on, right? Because sometimes, if you send out a survey, someone will probably feel um what they f- they think HR expects to hear. So when you have an open door policy, you get to hear the real thing, what's really happening, what are the people really saying. It helps you to really feel the pulse of the people. Then as well, like I said earlier, digital collaboration tools. Now the HRBP shift. So earlier I showed you the challenges. This is the shift that we're trying to achieve now. We're trying to move from change resistance to change acceptance, right? Now, how do you move to change acceptance? Um, One key thing that I know when it comes to change acceptance, moving from change resistance to change acceptance, is being able to efficiently build relationships, stakeholder management, right? And effective communication, right? Because if you carry people along in the decision making process for that change, right, they become custodians and they help you run with it, right? And proper stakeholder management helps you to get buy-in for whatever transformation or change you are trying to implement. Yeah. So that's for data for change acceptance. For data efficiency, you know, just be able to um efficiently analyze, efficiently gather, right? Efficiently clean your data, and if properly analyze and what else? That's interpret your data and represent your data representation, because all these are very key to data efficiency. You may have your analysis of right, but your representation, if your representation is wrong, you still will not get, the results and the response you were expecting, right? Because I remember there was one time I had done my data analysis and it was so good, right? In my head it was so good, but then the representation, I didn't represent it properly, and it caused a debate. Half of the room was saying, half of the, the room was saying, oh, this is what the data is, look, this is what you're trying to say, and the other half was saying, no, this is what we understand. So you have to be able to communicate and represent your data efficiently and clearly so that everybody is on, is on the same page. They know exactly what you're talking about. The message is clear as day. Yeah. So the next shift we need to happen is from a siloed HR function to a collaborative function, right? Now we need to collaborate with line managers. Remember I mentioned early on is that, HR's the original idea for HR business partners was to work directly with strategic business units, and these strategic business units have heads. They have heads of units, right? So you need to be able to forge relationships with them. You need to be able to collaborate with them, reason with them, because trust me, they are your biggest allies. If you want any change to happen in their unit, they are your biggest allies. If you want to go and fight with them, all right, you know, but just be sure that nothing is going. They will make sure they will frustrate your efforts. So you need to, it has to be a collaborative relationship with departments, with the department heads and the relevant holders across teams, right? And also we need to move from cost center to revenue enabler, right? We need to set it and set the record clear that we are no longer cost centers, we are now revenue enablers. We help the organization to improve their productivity, right? And how do we do this? Data. Back to data, is your data analysis will show the results. And one thing I always say is that the data doesn't lie. The data doesn't lie. If you check the data and it says A, you can be sure as day that, that is A is what it is. So the data never lies. So you just need to look closely enough. Now, you know once you get your data right and your data is showing you that, oh, you're able to use your data to prove to them that, oh, we're supporting you b- based on this initiatives, we're able to help you to improve your productivity. So yeah, data is in fact, data is is life, if you ask me. It's very amazing. Future trends in HR business partnering. So there are some trends that we foresee happening. AI and automation. Expect to see increased automation of administrative tasks, like I mentioned earlier. With this one has already started taking place, because there are a lot of softwares that are being rolled out as we speak, that will take away a lot of administrative tasks that have already even taken them away, such as payroll processing, employee onboarding, and record keeping, which will free up valuable time for HR professionals to do more strategic work. Work. Also, employee experience platforms, focusing on holistic solutions that enhance the employee journeys, involves creating a seamless experience from onboarding through ongoing development. So yeah, some of these are already in place, but one that I see that is very strongly coming up is predictive AI. Where the AI will be able to tell us, okay, in 2025, this employee is going to goof in 2025, based on their past performance or something like that. So yeah, AI has come to stay. So yeah, in conclusion, strategic HR partnering is crucial for organizational success in today's dynamic business landscape, and as it aligns human resource initiatives with overall business goals. To successfully do this, we must make an effort to get to understand the business, thus helping us to know how best to support it. Please, we need to try and understand the business. If you're, as an HR person, if they tap you when you wake up, if they ask you, okay, explain how your company, what's your business model? Like my company now, I can tell you where the money is. I can tell you where the profit margins are. I can tell you, there are a lot of things you can ask me, and I can tell you, but you might think that, oh, these are technical things, but yeah, they all add up at the end of the day. So by collaborating closely with leadership and other departments, HR can ensure that talent management, employee engagement, and cultural initiatives directly support the organization's objectives. This partnership enables HR to respond swiftly to market changes, anticipate workforce needs, and drive innovation. In an era where adaptability and agility are key, strategic HR business partnering not only enhances operational effectiveness, but also positions HR as a vital contributor to long term business success and competitive advantage. As an HR, we need to be looking at the long term, being we need to help the company play the long game. We need to look, okay, what's the next 2 3 years progression. Okay, are we expanding into new territories? Okay, what do we need to put in place? What do we need to put in place to prepare for that? So there are a lot of things. If your company needs to scale, there are things and structures you need to put in place to enable that scaling to be efficient and effortless, right? Without which, if those things are not put in place, it can cause issues in the long term. So we need to start to think long term as HR business partners. I think that's it for me. I hope I wasn't too fast. Thank you. And just a parting word here, it says a great HR department is a business partner, not a cost center. Yeah, that needs to sink in very well, because the narrative out there. Yeah. So here are some key takeaways. Here are some key takeaways. Upskill your HR team, understand the business, you know, place emphasis on data-driven insights, enhance employee experience, understand business needs, foster a culture of ability, build strong relationship with stakeholders, and embrace technology. Yeah. Questions and answers, if any. Thank you. Hello. Hello, can you hear me?
Oh, hello. Hello, we can hear you. I was trying to raise my
Okay.
hand, but I can't see the raise hand icon. I'm using my phone. But I just want to
Okay.
ask a question. I recall in
Yeah.
one of your slides, after all the definitions, you said something
Mm,
about getting people to buy into the HRBP system.
yeah.
But what I've noticed is that if you go for a lot of, well, taking it from the vacancies, you see a lot of things, HRBP, we want an HRBP. And HRBP has been around, correct me if I'm wrong, for close on 10 years now. So I'm just
Yeah.
wondering, is there still a need to get businesses to buy into HRBP? They seem to have bought into it already.
No, the buy-in I'm talking about is buying for HRBP initiatives,
Okay.
change
Uh,
initiatives. Yes, that's the buying I'm talking about. So when
okay.
you've come up with a strategy and you say, okay, we need to go this direction, this is the way we need to go to get that buy-in, because sometimes some of these initiatives may cost money, and you know how companies can be when it comes to releasing funds. So,
Yes.
you know, that's the buy-in I'm talking about.
All right, thank you so much. I am Uncle K. Wonderful presentation. I was just
Thank you.
wondering, you mentioned quite a lot of uh movement into the tech space for HR and how HR
Mm.
should actually embrace technology. What are the new tools or new technological tools that HR could leverage on that can make work easier, faster, and
Mm.
a quick view into how these tools work? Thank you.
Okay, so for example, I know a lot of us already have the traditional ERP systems at play in our workplaces, and there are some new ones, right? There's Trello. Trello is there for it's their productivity tools, and then there's ClickUp as well. You can also check that out. So then there are data analysis tools as well. The When it comes to data analysis, right, you can use Excel. Excel is a good tool, but a lot of times people just use Excel to gather data, but not everybody is skilled enough to actually analyze data on Excel. So that's where you now have some specialized functions like, oh, probably in time we'll see HR data analysts coming in, right? That's if they are not already there, right? So these are a few tools that you can lay your hands on as regards tech. And then, there are already the collaborative tools like the Slack and the rest of them. Does that answer your question?
Oh, yes, yes, it does. Thank you so much.
All right, you're welcome. Any other questions?
Okay, thank you very much once again. I would like to ask, what level of relationship, what level of partnership should the HR department have with finance? Just to be able to, because my take home really was when you mentioned moving from being cost centers to revenue enablers. So there's a level of understanding, same page you want to stand with finance and management. So how do you enhance this collaboration some more?
Okay, so thank you for this question. Very brilliant question. Thank you for asking. Finance should be your best friend. I think that should answer your question. Finance should be your best friend. Forge a relationship with finance, because when you need that money, you need them on your side. So they should be your best friend. They should be now when it comes to stakeholder relationship management. I know that, they'll say, oh, the traditional, everybody be professional. Forge a relationship. Forge a relationship. If you need to take your CFO or whoever is in charge of it now, if you need to take them out for lunch or for drinks, please do. you know Forge a relationship, forge a level of trust, right? They need to be able to see that, oh, you actually have the business in mind. Your motives are um your motives are your motives are are good and you're looking out for the business. So you need to forge that relationship. You need to forge that relationship outside the office. In fact, sometimes, right? I know what my CFO, I know what he likes, right? I know the kind of things he likes, and probably maybe on a Friday, I send a drink to his office, just to just to forge that relationship. Yeah, after work hours. After work hours, okay, do you guys have an established friendship? Because trust me, right? It's there's something one thing one of my mentors, Mr. Yemi Fashion, amazing guy, I love him, right? He says, you know, he talks about political quotient, having political intelligence. You need to be able to forge alliances in the boardroom so that when you need buy-in, it's not difficult. You've probably, because when it's time to make those decisions in the boardroom, you've probably had that conversation with the person last week over drinks, and the person is just smiling, you get. So forge a relationship, have a relationship with your CFO is your best friend, as an HR as in change person, because the money that needs to make the change happen is going to come from there. So yeah, it should be a very good friend. Does that answer your question?
Thank you so much, Imade, for the excellent presentation tonight. We have thoroughly, been blessed. Allow me to say that you've really contributed to the body of knowledge, try to enlighten us so that you can help develop our capabilities. Damlari would like to ask a question. Damlari, please go ahead with your question.
All right. Thank you so much, Imade. Apologies,
Thank
I
you.
joined in a bit late. And just as a way of expanding the last question you answered with respect to having finance as your maybe go-to person and so, but I would just appreciate if you could please further distinguish what level of relationship we should have with the finance guys while maintaining our professionalism, and also the stakeholders that we manage as HR business partners. Because yes, finance guys are key stakeholders. However, we should not forget the main stakeholders, the business leaders themselves that we are responsible to, and the employees. So could you please clarify the level of relationship we should have with the finance team? Should it supersede the relationship we have with the key stakeholders who are the business owners? Thank you.
Okay, so I would tell you that stakeholder management is like a game of chess, right? There's so many pieces on the board. You need to understand how to move each piece. Every piece has its role, every piece has its relevance. So you need to be able to strategically move each piece across the board in a way that achieves your that helps you achieve your objective. So it's not about forgetting focusing on just the CFO and forgetting the other stakeholders. There are so many stakeholders. First of all, you need to identify who your key stakeholders are. There are some key stakeholders that don't even have titles. I'm sure you must have known. There are some people that are so powerful. They don't have any big title, but if they speak to one or two people, they can frustrate you and frustrate your initiatives. So that's where political quotient comes in. You need to be able to, you know, strategically navigate. You need to be able to strategically navigate all your stakeholders. You need to first of all identify who your key stakeholders are, have enough political intelligence to navigate all of them effectively. Because I don't need to go into detail. If you want me to go into details, maybe you come for mentorship or something, pay for consultation, then we'll go into details. But I think that information I've given you should give you some idea as to how to address it. It's not something that they teach in a one-day training. It's an intricate dance. It's actually an intricate dance. Yeah. I'm seeing, are there some questions in the chat? I'm trying to open it. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. 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 These are comments.
So, Imade, thank you so much. I've gone through. It's a
Okay.
convenient
Okay. Okay.
place
Okay.
to
Okay. Okay.
wrap
Okay.
it up. I'd like to
Okay.
thank you very much for
Okay, sir.
honoring our invitation to share so generously from your world of experience. I would also like to thank everybody who joined us tonight. Again, the important thing is let's pay it forward. Let's put to good use all the key lessons and insights we have picked up tonight. Let's continue to develop and show results at the marketplace, at our various place of work. Ladies and gentlemen, please let's enjoy the rest of the night. Bye for now. Thank you so
Good
much,
night,
Imadi.
everyone.
Bye.
Good night, everyone. Bye.
Good night,
Bye.
everyone. Thank you.
Good night, everyone. Bye. Thank you,
Bye.
Made.
Good night.
Bye.
Thank
Good
you.
Bye. Bye, everyone.
Good night.
Hello, good night, ma. Hello, ma.
Thank you.
Good night.